So my name is Fablice MANIRAKIZA. I am originally a Burundian who was born in Ngozi in a district called Mumba. And because I was born during the crisis of Burundi, um, life got a bit hard and I became an orphan on the age of 8. And I escaped to Tanzania refugee camp when I was 11 years old. And after a couple of years, I was lucky enough to migrate in Australia. And yeah, that's me. I have been in Australia for more than 13 years by now. And when from 2013, I became the president of Burundian community in Victoria. And that's when I started, that's when I started got of inspired by, the work that could be done here in Burundi. However, on the other hand, is that in Australia, I have been a musician and also an inspiration and motivation speaker. So, uh, because I used to work with different international organizations to help them do the fundraising to help other developing countries, I was working with ActionAid. And when ActionAid heard that I was coming to Burundi, they requested me to be the ambassador, and I agreed. Now, when I go here, the ActionAid branch of Burundi took me all over the country, and that's when I started realizing that our country has so much potential. Our country is, I would say, until now, is still a hidden paradise. Therefore, I sort of wanted to do something that could change this country. And when that's when I actually started writing the name of Come and See Burundi in my phone. When I went back to Australia, it got hard for me to find loyal people here in Burundi, people that I can trust. And then I sort of I kind of got about it. But in 2015, was lucky enough to go and perform. I did a music tour in East Timor, and when I got there, I was hosted by the president of the country, and um, and I remember when I was about to start performing, I requested them to raise the flag of Burundi. So me looking at the flag of Burundi in East Timor, you feel like there was an angel who's telling me this could be done in your country. There is so much you can do in your country. So that's when I sort of turned around, because after that, in 2016, I came to Burundi and I was lucky enough to find one or two people I can trust. And then I told them my vision, and then we registered Come and See Burundi as a company. And yeah, we started from there. So Come and See Burundi specializes in tourism, in investment, entrepreneurship, social services. Um, and now, as you can already tell, we are major in property and city development, construction. And yeah, I mean, that's how I ended up there. Other than that, I'm just an entrepreneur who want to change Burundi. Yeah. Now, what really attracted me is the struggles which I was seeing in the Burundi diaspora. The Burundian diaspora members, I mean, I'm speaking from my experience. We would send money here to develop our properties, and the people we send the money to, they would rip us off. They would lie to us. So 99% of Burundian diaspora has already experienced this crisis of sending money here, and not even Burundians, all African diaspora. They would send money back to their country, and those who supposed to be the trusted people, they would rip them off, and then it make them hate the country. You know. But apart from that, me grew up in Australia. I grew up in the world's most livable city. We have buildings, we have infrastructure, everything is perfect. And then I ask myself, why can't we do this in Burundi? You know, on the end of the day, all the minerals they use, they get it from our region. We've got everything we could to be the outstanding, you know, to be the example, you know. So what inspired me is the opportunity that I see here and the struggles that I've seen from the Burundian diaspora and the ambition that I have of changing the world, starting from Burundi. So I guess that's what really inspired me to get into real estate development. It is, you know, everything is, it's just requests you to think and to be strategic, you know, to be strategic in the way you implement your business. I'll give you an example. You see, we have banks here in Burundi. And for me, what I realized by that time, I realized I've got clients and I've got the experience. And then I went and approached a local bank here and I say, I'm gonna bring you clients and you're gonna give them mortgages, credit. And the bank saw it and say, hey, that works. Why not? You know, I'm not a person who went to China and say, give me 2 million to go and build this. No, no, no. I want we as Burundian to empower ourselves, to develop our country. So what I did, I approached the bank and I told the diaspora to get the mortgages, to get the loans from this local bank here in Burundi. Now, a diaspora who's in America will go to work and say, I will send $2,000 monthly to my country. You know, we have crisis of USD here. Now look at it. That's the only way we can solve it. It's about giving opportunities to our brothers and sisters who's abroad, you know, to send money here. An example is countries like Senegal, like Ghana. The diaspora of these countries contribute more than 20% in the nation budget. Yeah. The thing is that with the innovation that I've seen here in Burundi, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's so hard to spot innovation in this country because everybody trying to survive. You know, we've got more than we've got so like we've got high percentage of people who live to survive. You know what I mean? So they don't want they can't find a way to bring into reality the innovation. And this is a country where people got idea that in order for you to bring your innovation and put into application, you have to be a son of somebody who's a decision maker, you know. But for me, what I've seen when I came to it, the opportunity is there, and the amount of time. It doesn't matter what the amount of time you could, you know, apply your development, or your innovation. You just have to be this. You just have to have a spirit of an entrepreneur, because you know, in business, you don't wake up and go like, you know, I'm starting to make cameras and think you're gonna make money. By that time, no. There is, I think you have heard somebody say there is 1,001 steps. No, 1,001 days in order to start generating. So I guess the problem we face, it's that time, you know, people give up so quick. My company, I guess, it's difficult when you are working in a third world country, because in terms of experience, I had a vision. I tried to push forward, but I got to realize maybe it was only me or with a few other members that we have the same vision. Therefore, it became a great challenge, you know. So on the end of the day, I would have to push forward to do every work that I could, you know. It's I remember somebody once told me that when I come to Burundi, come and see Burundi rise. When I go to Australia, it falls, you know. So, But I've, as an entrepreneur, we don't have time to work. We don't have, we don't have limit time to indicate to our work. Therefore, even up to 2 o'clock, we are working. People don't see how we struggle, how hard we struggle to make it. You know what I mean? So I work so hard that I don't have to look for my employee and say, have you prepared this? No, no, no. I do it myself, And I guess that's the main key. That's the secret for development. If you are an entrepreneur or if you are a boss or whatever you can call yourself, don't wait for your employees to do the work when you know you can do it. Do it. What's wrong with it? On the end of the day, it's your business. And in terms of performance, again, I guess the challenge of human resource here is still great because the education system here in Burundi, it still has a bit, you know, it still have a huge room for development. Therefore, you will be surprised to make a appel d'offre and say, I need employees. And everyone will come and tell you they can change your sector, they can change the world. But when it gets to application, these people, you look at it, it cannot work. So the human resource here in Burundi, there needs to be a capacity building. There needs to be trainings so people learn by experience. So, and the other, I guess the other challenges my company has been facing, as I told you before, this country, we all talk about development, but I would say the only people who can, make, who feels that development, I would say it's only 2%. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's only 1%. Therefore, I want to bring development. I want to fight for development. But because in that percentage, I find myself with only 2 or 3 people, we can, it becomes a great challenge. And those who doesn't see it, they should be the one who see it because they're in they're in positions where they should be applying their forces to bring the development, but they don't see it like we see, I guess. Yeah. COVID has really affected the whole world. It has affected my life. It has affected my business. It have affected everything. But always there is good side and bad side. If I could start with the bad side, we used to host tourists here in Burundi as come and see Burundi. They don't come anymore. Now they sort of trying to wake up again, but in a couple of months ago, it was hectic. No one was coming. The flights was cancelled. Everything was down. And surprisingly, Corona sort of heated the world when I landed in Burundi. I don't know if it was, for me right now, I feel like it was a calling of God because I started feeling like, imagine if it happened when I was in Australia. There wouldn't be come and see Burundi now. There wouldn't be CSBU village now. But thank God, that's the good side of it because I guess it put me into Lord's captivity for me to do what the Lord wants me to do. So right now, the work that I'm doing, it's not because of my forces or my I don't know. It's not because of me. No. It's because of God. Because when I look at the challenge that I even face here, and I overcame it, a young person like me, a young person like me, a guy who doesn't have a lot of friends like me, I wouldn't win it. But look at it. My project is going good. Therefore, it's only God who has made that miracle. So, coronavirus has really heated everything. But as I said, there is good side of it and there is bad side of it. So for me, I experienced both. Yeah. My definition of success is freedom. Yeah, it's freedom. And when I say freedom, I feel like even if I could earn freedom for my life, it's not enough. We have, the population of Burundi has the right to have the freedom. And for me, looking at success, it's pretty much what Rwagasore did. You know, he understood that the definition of success was freedom for everyone, is a liberty for everyone. So in order to have that freedom, it's for you to fight for others. You know, when I say this, I'm talking about, like for example, with the CSBU village, we give employment to more than 400 people a day. You know, by the end of this project, we estimate to have 10,000 employment being given out. So for me, I call that success. Success is no money. No, 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 no. I mean, how much money do I need to be happy? I can get a car, I can drive, but you know, if I could eat and sleep, that's all I want. Now, when I want to get success, it's about really passing what I have to the others who don't see it, so we can all have freedom and live in freedom. So for me, I see it as a freedom. Thank you. I mean, for the entrepreneurs who have great ideas out there, I tell them, first of all, have passion. Have passion to what you want to do. You know what I mean? See if it's your dream. Don't do something because somebody else is doing it. Don't do it because your friend is doing it. In Kirundi, they say ngendo y'uwundi iravuna. So that means realize the potential you have and go for it. And when you go for it, you know, before I said there is 1,001 days of you going down. For me, I've invested everything that I had in, you know, in Australia. I use every money that I worked for. I would send in Burundi to pay employees, to pay my people. When I don't see what they're doing, but I would have I would always tell myself, no matter what happens, I have a vision and I'll get there. So don't get into entrepreneurship and think you're just gonna grab it. No, just be prepared. The problem we have, I remember I was looking statistics from API, more than 50% of the company starts, they end up getting closed. Because people, they start things where they are not passionate about it. That's one. And the other thing, they think, when I get it, when I go in it, I'm gonna create money. No. Understand that, you know, there is a long way, there is a long walk. And yes, maybe, you know, money will come, but don't think that's the first asset. You know, the first one is the, you know, the the proactiveness, the strategies, I mean, you carrying that bag of, you know, ideas and say, I'm gonna carry it. There is no one else who's gonna help me, but I'm gonna do it. I guess the main message I will give out there, you know, when I look at this country, Burundi, it has so much potential. And we Burundians, we need to overcome what separates us and focus on our common ground. And when I say what separates us, here, we, we tend to think we hate each other when we love each other, you know. And we tend to think that our country is poor, like we've been lied by, but it's false. You know what I mean? This country is so rich you cannot imagine. And when we realize that, that's when we can focus on our common ground in order to discover and work together. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, I always say this country has a potential of be like I don't know, I always quote Dubai because people knows it. It has a potential of being like Dubai within, you know, 5-10 years. We can do that, but we can only do it when we learn to focus on our common ground, to learn how to share, to learn how to respect each other. But if we can't do that, we still have a long way to go. So I would encourage everybody, let's love each other. There's no hate in loving. And in fact, we always go to church every Sunday. We learn to love each other, so yeah.